Alright, I am Mike Fox. I'm doing my strategic plan presentation on traffic in and around the campus of Towson University. What is the problem? The problem is the absurd amount of traffic during any really busy hour of the day, not only around campus, but in the greater Baltimore area. So like the main one obviously is rush hour on 695 and 95 north and a little bit south, but mostly north, is just egregious. It is the worst thing to sit through. Traffic during lunch rush is mostly, I've noticed that mostly around Towson. It seems like people just have no idea what they're doing, taking their time on their lunch breaks. And as a person that has multiple classes and sometimes don't get to eat, I get a little hangry, so it gets a little annoying. Traffic in and out of parking garages, I noticed that again all around Towson. It's like people don't know how to drive through parking garages. It does help that there are different entrances to some of the parking garages, but sometimes it's just people can't figure out how to get out of it, is what it seems like. And then, like I said, 695 might be the worst road I've ever driven on in my life. I-95 South is a close second to that, and then pretty much any time there's any sort of weather at all, it seems like there's an accident on 83. And I work in the city, so driving down from Towson to Baltimore City, yeah, I have to take 83, and if it's raining, I know for pretty much 90% certainty that there will be traffic. Who does this problem affect? In the Towson community, students, staff, and then commuters like myself. I have about roughly an hour commute. Sometimes that can be an hour 20, sometimes that can be 40 minutes. Again, it just depends on traffic and what time of day I'm going down. And then everyone and anyone with a car in the state of Maryland is basically affected by the traffic that is on 95 and 695 for the most part. Two highly traveled roads in the state of Maryland. Which organization is responsible? Well, for the Baltimore City traffic, it's the Department of Transportation of Baltimore City, and that is the director of that department is Corna Johnson. And then I-95 is the Maryland Department of Transportation. They also do I-70 and other roads, like other major highways that stretch through Maryland. And then for like local roads and stuff like that, it's local government officials that are responsible for the handling of the traffic and like addressing the issue of it. They're not directly responsible for it, but like they're responsible for fixing it or helping ease the problem. Stakeholders in the issue, people who contribute, are again everyone that drives, commuters like me, students and staff just around the Towson area, and then for again the greater Baltimore, Maryland area, everyone on the road. The ability to address the issue is the contributors can also address the issue, but more so the politicians, Department of Transportation, and then they are the main people that can help address the issue. But everybody on the road, like the contributors, can also help address the issue, but more so the politicians and Department of Transportation can help address it. Financial needs, so pictured is the collapse of I-95 North in Philly. I know it's not Towson and not Maryland, but like that was a pretty crazy thing that happened recently on that highway. It is estimated that roughly $500 million is going to be put into Maryland infrastructure. Biden's infrastructure bill, we're getting a good amount of that because we have some serious major highways and they seem like they're always under construction or always have an issue. To help pay for those, we have tolls. I know they've been increased recently, especially if you don't have an easy pass. That's why I now have one, so I could pay less money. But I know those tolls, some of that money does go into the roads themselves. Speed cameras on I-95 around the construction, those help out. Speed cameras on 83, even though they're in the same spot and 90% of people that drive 83 know exactly where they are, they still help out because I know some people still get caught on them. I know a couple of my friends and coworkers get caught by them every now and again. And then all that money goes into all the construction that is currently happening and is going to eventually happen more on 95 and 695. I know I-95 North right now through Joppatown, they're doing construction. I got caught in it last week coming home from work at 1 in the morning, and I sat in an hour and a half of traffic. So that was pretty brutal. But at least they're doing it at night. But yeah, those constructions are being paid for through tolls, speed cameras, and then public money, public and federal money. The political context around the situation, Wes Moore, who advocated for the $500 million, but he's advocating for billions of federal dollars to help assist Maryland's transportation issues. That's not just the roads, that's also the buses, the trains, every sidewalks, bike lanes, every form of transportation possible is what that advocating for billions of federal dollars is for. He ran for governor with this idea on how to help fix it. He wants federal money to be able to do what the Department of Transportation needs to do to help the flow of people in and out of the city, and then also within the city itself. Like I said, he wants to improve the bus system and train system, not just the roads and highways. And then again, not only in Baltimore City, but Maryland as a whole, as a state, because he's the governor of Maryland, not the governor of Baltimore. The leadership skills needed, we need an open-minded leader. We need someone to empower the Department of Transportation to be able to do what they need to do. We need to have a good pace set because roads are only getting busier, so we need to, if we figure out that a road needs construction, it needs to get done on time and in a timely manner, because the longer these construction things go on, the more traffic it causes, the more problems it has. So understand the stakeholders and that they're upset about having to sit in traffic, understand their position, understand where they come from, understand what they do, all that stuff, being able to adapt to any situation that comes up, and then having the power to overcome any situation that comes up. The management skills needed is being able to correctly allocate the money where it's needed. Baltimore City has had, I'll say, many issues allocating money, not just on roads and transportation, but in other departments as well. Correctly place the people where they need to be placed. That slash should not be there. The people that are good at their job need to be able to do their job. Have a good efficiency, which goes back to the pace setting. Be able to get stuff done when needed to be done. Be able to manage the citizens' reactions to changing travel. So like at night when I-95 North goes down to one lane, people are not going to be happy about it. I was not happy about it, but it's necessary. And then being able to take constructive criticism of the citizens and of the Department of Transportation, whoever has their criticism. Ways to address the problem. So over here to the right is a maglev train. I know that's a little bit much for Baltimore City, but it would be cool to, not just cool, but better to have better trains other than just the light rail. So significantly upgrade the trains, significantly upgrade the buses. I know a few of my coworkers that ride buses a lot say they're terrible and they'd rather take an Uber. Repair roads whenever needed, expand roads whenever needed, make merging lanes bigger. Or longer even, create bus-only lanes, especially around Towson, because I get stuck behind those Towson buses a decent amount, and then create bike lanes and paths. I think Towson could really benefit from a bike lane and maybe even some paths. My recommendation is to do construction only at night on major highways, which they mostly do. Sometimes they don't, but most of the time they do. Upgrade the trains, buses, improve toll booths. I know they just did one by the tunnel, one of the tunnels. Improve on and off ramps, which is expanding those merging lanes. And then create bus-only lanes around Towson, and then you could throw in a bike lane or path around Towson. I think that would be pretty cool. I think a lot of people would be into that personally. And that's it.